All right, welcome to the Explainer. So, AI is about to change, well, pretty much everything again. But what does that actually mean for us? Like, what is the world really going to look like by 2026? We've dug through all the research, all the expert predictions to give you the real story, the big breakthroughs, the serious challenges, and most importantly, what it all means for you. Let's just kick things off with a quote that really hits home. It's from the legendary tech investor Mary Meeker, and it cuts right through all the noise. See, the big fear isn't that some robot is going to come and take your job. The real threat, it's the person who knows how to use that robot. And that one idea right there is why we all have a personal stake in figuring out what's just around the corner. Okay, so first up, the AI tipping point. To really get this, we have to talk about speed. You know, we're used to thinking about big tech changes like the internet as this kind of steady climb, right? But AI? Nope. This isn't a climb. This is a rocket launch. And that rocket has already left the pad. And if you want to put that speed into perspective, just look at this. It took Google 11 years to hit 365 billion annual searches, a titan of the industry. ChatGPT, it did the same thing in just 2 years. That's not just a little bit faster, you guys. That is a totally different universe of speed and adoption. And get this. In that same trends report, Mary Meeker used the word unprecedented 64 times. 64. Just let that sink in. This is someone who was front and center for the birth of the internet, for the mobile revolution, and she's saying this moment is unprecedented over and over again. When she says that, you gotta pay attention. We are in some seriously new territory here.
Okay, so we've established it's happening fast. But what is it exactly? What are the actual breakthroughs we can expect to see by 2026? Let's get into the what of it all.
But first, a super quick history lesson because it really matters. You gotta know where we've been to see where we're going. AI isn't new. It's been around for decades, going through these cycles of huge hype and then nothing. The so-called AI winters. But this time? Oh, this time is different. The deep learning revolution we're in now is being fueled by two things we never had before: unimaginable amounts of data and insane computing power. It's the perfect storm that's making things that used to be science fiction, well, reality. So where are we going to feel this revolution first? Well, one of the biggest areas is healthcare. And the changes here aren't just big, they're going to be deeply, deeply personal for all of us.
Yeah, this is where it really gets real. We're talking about a move toward medicine that's tailored not just to your symptoms, but to your unique DNA. I mean, just imagine doctors creating treatment plans based on your actual genetic code, or diagnostic tools that spot diseases way earlier and more accurately than any human ever could. And new life-saving drugs, they're going to be developed in a fraction of the time it takes today. This isn't just an improvement, it's a complete rewrite of how we fight disease. And that same incredible power that's about to transform our health, well, it's also set to rewrite the rules of our wealth. Business and finance are being completely reshaped, right from the very foundations. What's happening here is we're leaving behind those simple, old-school if-this, then-that systems. Take something like generative personalization. That means the ads you see aren't just based on what you clicked on yesterday. No, they're going to be created for you, right in that moment in real time. And in finance, we're talking about fraud detection that's always one step ahead of the bad guys, and trading systems that can see market shifts coming with frankly scary accuracy. But honestly, maybe the most profound change of all isn't in what the technology does, but in how we use it. The whole idea of a user interface, it's about to be completely turned on its head. Okay, so here's the absolute key takeaway. Forget clicking around in apps and searching through menus. The future is just talking. Think about it. Instead of going to a website and clicking on dates, destinations, seat preferences, all that stuff, you're just going to say, hey, book me a flight to Tokyo sometime next month. I want a window seat and keep it under $1,000. You state the outcome you want, and the AI figures out all the boring steps to get it done. It's a total game changer. Now, all of this sounds absolutely incredible, right? And it is. But it also opens up a whole new can of worms. There are huge risks. So that brings us to the so what. What's the real-world promise, and what's the real-world peril we have to deal with? On the economic side, we're witnessing a massive shift from what we called the search economy to the new answer economy. For the last 20 years, the whole game for businesses has been about keywords, SEO, getting to the top of Google. Well, now, people are just going to ask an AI for the answer directly. So if you're a brand, you don't market to a search engine anymore.
You have to figure out how to market to the AI itself. That changes everything.
And listen, this isn't some sci-fi thing that's coming in 10 years. It is happening right now. Look at this. A recent study found that 58% of consumers are already using AI to get product recommendations. The shift isn't coming, it's here.
And all of this, of course, leads to the elephant in the room. The big one, jobs. Is AI coming to take everyone's jobs? Is this going to be a story of mass unemployment? Or are we maybe thinking about this all wrong? Well, here's a really interesting take from investor Sarah Guo, and it ties right back to what we heard from Mary Meeker. She's looked at tons of AI companies, and you know what she found? Almost none of them are successfully selling the idea of fire your employees. Instead, they're all about expand what your employees can do. It's not about replacing people. It's about giving us superpowers. It's about augmenting our abilities so we can work faster, smarter, and tackle way bigger problems.
But to get to that amazing future, we have some major hurdles to clear. Huge ones. First off, AI learns from the data we feed it. So if our data is biased, the AI will be biased. It's that classic garbage in, garbage out problem. Then there are massive questions about privacy and data security. And, of course, the scary stuff, the very real threat of AI being used for cyber attacks or creating convincing deepfakes. And underlying all of it, you need good, clean data. And a huge number of companies, almost half, admit they're struggling with that.
So, with all this incredible promise on one side and all this serious peril on the other, how do we actually navigate this? What do we do now to make sure we get this right? Well, when you look at what the experts are saying, a pretty clear 3-step plan starts to take shape. Step 1 is collaboration. You have to get the tech people, the ethicists, the government, private companies all talking to each other. Step 2 is building the rule book, creating real ethical guidelines for things like fairness, accountability, and transparency. And step 3, which might be the most important, is investing in people. We have to educate and reskill our workforce so that everyone is ready for this new world. And through it all, there's one rule that almost every single expert agrees is absolutely non-negotiable. For the big decisions, the ones with high stakes, a human being has to be in the loop. We can let the AI do the number crunching and handle the tedious tasks, sure, but we cannot, ever, outsource our judgment, especially not when people's lives and livelihoods are at stake. And that kind of leaves us with this final thought. By 2026, there's no question the AI itself will be powerful enough. That technology is going to be there. The real question, the one we all have to answer, is, will we be? Will we be wise enough to handle it?